were standing by peaceful waters, standing by peaceful waters. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. Many years ago, along the Illinois-Wisconsin border, there was this Indian tribe. They found two babies in the woods, white babies. One of them was named Elizabeth, and she was the fairer of the two, while the smaller and more fragile one was named Marie. Having never seen white girls before, and living on the two lakes known as the Twin Lakes, they named the larger and more beautiful lake, Lake Elizabeth. And thus the smaller lake that was hidden from the highway became known forever as a Lake Marie. We were standing by peaceful water, standing by peaceful water. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. Many years later, I found myself talking to this girl who was standing there with her back turned to Lake Marie. The wind was blowing, especially through her hair. There was 4 Italian sausages cooking on the outdoor grill. And man, oh man, they were sizzling. Many years later, we found ourselves up in Canada, trying to save our marriage, and perhaps catch a few fish, whatever came first. That night she fell asleep in my arms, humming the tune to Louie Louie. Ah, baby. We gotta go now. We were standing by peaceful waters, standing by peaceful waters. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. The dogs were barking as the cars were parking. The loan sharks were sharking and the narcs were narking. Practically everyone was there. In the parking lot by the forest preserve, the police have found 2 bodies in the woods. Nay, naked bodies. And their faces have been horribly disfigured by some kind of sharp object. Saw it on the news, you know, in black and white. You know what blood kind of looks like in black and white, don't you? Shadows. Shadows. All the love we shared, Between her and me, that is. Man, it was slammed. Slammed up against the banks of old Lake Marie. Marie, we were standing by peaceful water. Standing by peaceful water. Whoa, ah, oh, ah, oh. 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 Peaceful waters. Just standing by peaceful waters. Oh, with my brown-eyed girl. Top of the world, Ma. Wake up, little Susie. Thank you.
Pull up a comfy chair at the old Spectacle fireside. It is an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, and on this occasion where we are really talking about the singer-songwriter. I mean, the song that you just sang for us, Lake Marie, it's an unbelievable piece of work. When you started out to write it, did you know those images were going to connect in that way?
No, the song came along in a different fashion than I'm used to, in the way that I didn't know what the song was going to be about, but I knew I wanted it to start with something that sounded like it was true and it was history.
So really the images that you combined there were thoughts that came at separate times, and then as you laid them on the page, sort of thing. Do you lay them on the page?
I knew it was going to be talking, and then I knew that the middle part was going to rock a bit. It's a real place.
Yeah.
So I was playing.
Where is that real place?
It's in northern Illinois, almost in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of your home turf.
Well, years ago, I went there as a teenager. It was kind of a place to go park and have a picnic, and you know, people go there and taillight park, like, you know. Yeah. So I knew that Lake Marie, but I hadn't seen it in years. And I was playing a little town called Woodstock, Illinois. And they had a little opera house there.
The other Woodstock.
The other Woodstock, right, yeah. And the sound man said, I said, "Are we close to Lake Marie?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's just down the road." So I grabbed my little brother and drove down there. And there was absolutely nothing. It's a summer town. There was nothing. It was a winter town. But a library that was just a concrete building with no windows. And I go in, and sure enough, it's open. And there's a lady tending to it. And I asked her, I said, "Anybody ever written about the history here?" He said, "There's a guy working on a book right now, and his name's on the wall." So I wrote his number down. I called him, and he sent me a newspaper article with these two girls that they named the lake after, and the story about the Indian tribe. So I thought, this is perfect. Now I got a beginning for my song.
So you had a location, then you had kind of characters to put in the location.
I just took off from the first verse and chorus and kind of made it, you know, about two lovers. Yeah. And then...
But there's also very ordinary images, like, you know, like the cooking of sausages. There's things that you don't really commonly find in songs. There's like, you know, sausages don't feature a lot in songs. You know, they don't, not even in songs about sausages. You know?
My diehard fans who've seen like 100 shows, they treat it like the Rocky Horror Show. Like, you know, like
they wait for the
sausages so they can all go sizzling. Yeah.
I mean, it has a literary sense in you know, the length, the scale of the song. I mean, it could be a Raymond Carver story. It could, you know, are there any literary ancestors of songs like this for you, or is it this was a unique one? This really just came out of nowhere.
As long as I had the foundation, I knew how big the house was going to be. All I had to do was build the house. I saw it.
And it's a fabulous song when accompanied with a band as well.
It is. It works great with a band, and I usually close the evening out with it.
Yeah.
And it works really. I very seldom do it alone, but
well, I'm glad
I wrote
you did.
it alone. So
well, exactly. We write them all alone.
Yeah. Thank you.
You have a phenomenal catalog that began with a record that made such a big impression. Over the years, you've been covered by people as diverse as Bonnie Raitt and Bette Midler. That's not two people that you normally associate. So
yeah, the Everly Brothers. This is all off the same album.
Yeah.
And Joan Baez
and John Fogerty has recorded Paradise on his new record.
Yeah.
So right to this day.
Actually, I've been doing this now almost 40 years. And about 10 years ago, I had surgery, cancer surgery on my neck. And I couldn't sing for about a year. And when I did, my voice had dropped a little bit and also lost some power, just, you know, like to carry.
Yeah.
And so I changed the key on a bunch of my old songs, which had never occurred to me. I thought you were supposed to sing it in the key you wrote it when you were 19, you know, and I was still struggling to sing the song there. And just by changing the key around, a lot of the songs became like brand spanking new to me. Yeah. And I just went out every night and really enjoyed them more than ever, you know. So it was something, it was an amazing thing for me to kind of.
So they became new again, and sometimes.
Exactly,
and,
yeah.
You had other careers, other jobs before your career as a musician?
Mostly a mailman.
Yeah. You were a soldier? You were in the army?
Mailman. Well, I was in the army. I don't know how much of a soldier I was.
But it wasn't like you went from your teenage bedroom with an idea to shake the world's foundation.
I never entertained the thought of doing this for a living, or the songs I was making up were like the songs that you hear on the radio. I just thought, and not that I didn't think they were good, but I just did, it was easier for me to write a song than learn somebody else's. And when I found that out, I just pursued it for no reason whatsoever than my own enjoyment. And one night, I had enough beers, and somebody dared me to get up on a stage. It was like an open stage night. And I sang 3 songs, and they offered me a job. I said, "What do you mean a job?" And he said, "Sing in here." I said, "How long?" You know? So I went
for the rest of your life.
I went home that week and wrote the rest of the first record because I was so scared that I wouldn't have enough songs to fill up a...
And you didn't want to be playing other people's songs, you know. That's
right, because I wouldn't play them good enough.
Well, it's been a real pleasure. And John will be back a little later.